The ground is covered in bones, sun-cracked, brittle, silent, and yet the most disturbing part of this vision isn't what's on the ground, it's what it represents. Because this isn't really a story about death. It's a story about people who are still alive, but feel completely gone inside. In Book of Ezekiel chapter 37, the prophet is taken into a valley filled with bones described as very dry, which doesn't just mean they're dead, it means they've been that way for a long time, forgotten, abandoned, past the point where anyone expects change. And then God asks a question that almost feels impossible. Can these bones live? Because this isn't just about bones, it's about people who had lost everything and started saying, "Our hope is gone." They were breathing, but they weren't living. And if we're honest, that's not as distant as it sounds. You can wake up, go to work, talk to people, laugh, respond, and still feel like something inside you has quietly shut down. You look alive on the outside, but inside, it's just dry. Then something strange happens. God tells Ezekiel to speak to the bones, and as he does, they begin to come together, piece by piece, structure forming where there was only chaos. Flesh covers them, skin stretches over them, and suddenly they look whole again. But there's still no life, because having structure isn't the same as being alive. You can fix your routine, rebuild your habits, hold everything together, and still feel empty within. And that's when everything shifts. God says, prophesy to the breath. In Hebrew, that word is Ruach, and it doesn't just mean breath, it also means wind and spirit, which means what they're missing isn't repair, it's life itself. So Ezekiel speaks again, and this time the Ruach enters them. And in a moment, what was lifeless stands up, alive, and here's the part most people miss. God explains the vision. These bones are the whole house of Israel. They say, our hope is lost. So this was never about dead bodies. It was about living people who had lost their inner life. And maybe that's where this becomes personal, because the most dangerous kind of brokenness doesn't always look broken. It looks normal. It looks functional. It looks like someone who kept going long after they stopped feeling alive. But this vision says something radically different, that no level of dryness is final, no emptiness is permanent, because life doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from Ruach. You don't breathe life into yourself. Life is breathed into you. So maybe the question isn't whether the bones can live. Maybe it's whether you're ready to admit you've been standing without life, because the same Ruach that filled that valley still moves, still restores, still brings life back right in the middle of it. Because sometimes the greatest miracle isn't raising the dead, it's bringing the living back to life. If this message spoke to your heart, take a moment to like this video and subscribe for more truth-filled content every week. Share it with someone who needs hope today and be part of spreading light where it's needed most.